I've been a drug addict for 40 years, and it took prison to get my spiritual foothold and to get me still enough to even think about or even want something different. I was in a dorm called the God Pod, so we had a lot of spiritual training there. We had a lot of Bible study there. It wasn't just a dorm where you just wait your time out. We had a very structured dorm and full of spirituality and full of people that would come and volunteer their time and teach us and give us the tools that we needed to be. I guess, I take it like every study that we have and everything that we've learned here is just another tool that we put into a toolbox that we can use in our new life. It's not even like an old life, it's a new life. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm 54 years old. I found myself in prison at the age of 52. And that's pretty rough. I mean, it's rough when you're young, but to be 52 years old in prison, it was humiliating. It was devastating. It was embarrassing. Bottom line, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing that ever happened to me. I would probably still be out there drugging and drinking and just doing what I wanted to do and being in my own way. And sometimes God just have to put you places to keep you still long enough to listen to that small voice. That's where it was. That's where it was. I mean, if I hadn't have been, my prison sentence was probably the biggest blessing of my entire life.
Really? No.
Yes, of my entire life. I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't hold a job if I didn't mingle with my family because of because of my addiction. If they didn't have drugs wherever I went, I wouldn't go. I used drugs intravenously for probably 30 years. And then whenever I couldn't use drugs that way anymore, I went to smoking them, eating, whatever. They've been a part of my life since I was 13 years old. I got pregnant at the age of 14. I started partying when I was 13. I had a very, very dysfunctional family. Very dysfunctional family. We ran wild in the streets. We climbed out of our windows and run down the street, and that's this was in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and that's just what you did. We weren't raised in church. My parents fought a lot. They drank a lot, beat each other up a lot, and so it was just totally dysfunctional. We didn't have any. There was no support system, no support system in education, in spirituality, none of it. We just ran crazy and wild. My sister was also married at 14. My brother was married at 16, and it was just kind of like I looked for love in all the wrong places. I never finished or completed anything. I never completed being a mother or a wife. I've been married 6 times.
Oh, wow.
By the time I was in my early 30s, I'd been married 5 times. I was at home one night, and the police knocked on my door, and then they just proceeded to run in on me. And they searched my house, and they found a little vial of methamphetamine in my nightstand. That is what I went to jail for a possession under 1 gram, which is a state jail felony. What really truly sent me to jail is I lacked self-discipline. Nobody could tell me what to do. I knew it all. I was living alone. I was dealing drugs to support myself. I always had a house full of people that didn't belong there. And at that particular time, I had someone that had been running from the police, living in my home, and they were looking for him. But they had a warrant to search my house, and they found the vial of it's about $15 worth of methamphetamine in my nightstand drawer. So, but that isn't truly. I mean, they gave me probation. No self-discipline. You can't do probation. Nobody was going to tell me what to do. I did exactly what I wanted to. I didn't pay attention to what they were saying. So I was picked up on revocation of probation, and then they reinstated me. But they upped my payments, upped my probation. Everything was just like doubled. And well, I didn't do it the first time, and I wasn't going to do it the second time. And so it was actually a probation revocation, not being able to take orders and discipline, and just doing what I wanted to do no matter what. They gave me a warning, and then they gave me another chance, and I messed that up, and so But I was tired of running. I knew I was going to be arrested. I was tired of running. I couldn't fix it. And so I decided that when they came and knocked on my door that I wasn't going to run, I wasn't going to hide. I was going to go, and I was going to do what I had to do. I mean, it's always open doors. It's always about open doors and trying to get something going, something better, and trying to get those contributions to keep it going.